Isle of Man population, do they enjoy the TT as much as the visitors?
Oh, I think so. I don't think there's any question that the population of the Isle of Man equally thoroughly enjoy the races. It has a buzz, it has an atmosphere all of its own. The bikers, of course, are special people because they just enjoy the bikes as well. I think it is the festival around the racing which becomes important. You can, for example, walk along Douglas Promenade on TT main race day, and you'll find lots of the bikers still walking up and down the promenade looking at bikes and polishing their bikes. It is the festival, it is the atmosphere around motorbikes, equally as the actual racing itself, that brings the people to the island. The main attraction on the Isle of Man is our scenery, isn't it? I think there's no question about that. The Isle of Man is a gem in the middle of the Irish Sea, there's no question about that, and our green hills go from the top of Snaefell down to the coastline. So I think we have some quite spectacular scenery on the island, and it's really remarkable how it changes from one area to another. You can turn a corner and you can not see any sea and just go around the next corner and you're looking at somewhere with cliff visage. So it's quite remarkable, our scenery.
We drove from Ramsey to Douglas, and they're building a new estate just outside Douglas. What's the Isle of Man government's policy on developing on...
Policy in recent years, the policy on greenfield development in recent years has been rather to decry that and to try to have brownfield development within our town centres. But as it has happened, it's inevitable that the main centre of population, Douglas, Onken, Peel, Castletown, Port Erin, they've inevitably got bigger, and people today want the house with a little piece of garden, so we have had estate development. Still not overdeveloped, but as long as we can hold it so that in fact we're not developing new estates in the middle of our rural areas, that's fine.
The visitors over on the Isle of Man and the spectators for the TT, they enjoy the TT, and they'll also enjoy the local breweries and the alcohol. What's the Isle of Man's policy regarding the consumption of alcohol per person? Do they discourage people drinking excessive amounts?
I think our licensing laws are very liberal, so I don't think there's any drawback in that regard. The availability of alcohol is there for anybody who wishes to use it. I think the same is true if people abuse it, and if they abuse it, well, they might find that we're not quite as liberal with our penalties as they thought that we were when they started to use it.
What does the European Union have an effect on trying to control the Isle of Man, contributing to pollution?
Well, I don't think the European Union has any direct effect at all, but I think the public of the Isle of Man would demand of its government that in fact it be sensible and responsible. And in that regard, of course, I think the Isle of Man is doing its bit, trying to reduce our carbon footprint, which is the modern term. And I think that as far as reduce, reuse and recycle, the Isle of Man is well to the fore in the northwest area of the UK.